Anyway, so we know I go off on a tangent, but I just wanted to give you an example of how this stuff is working in my life today, and how, sometimes people say to me, oh yeah, like, you're always so positive and you act like your life is perfect. And I'm sorry if people feel like I act like my life is perfect, because it's far from perfect. I have my own struggles too, and those are things that I choose to work on today. And life is life, and life happens to me. I just today have a different way of handling it, of managing it, of being like, this is a terrible, terrible time, or a terrible tragedy right at this moment, but I'm gonna find there's little things that are happening that I can just be grateful for. And it's true. It's so true. Even in the darkest of my time, since I've started practicing doing this, I can find things to be grateful for. It's harder. It takes some more focus from me. But that's why it's important that I practice gratitude every day. So each night, almost every night, I write in my gratitude journal. And sometimes I'll end up putting the gratitude journal down, and then I will take to making gratitude posts through Facebook and Instagram. But I try to every day challenge myself by creating a gratitude list. And so even if I'm not making a video about it, or writing about it in my journal at night, or making a post, throughout the day I'm remembering to practice gratitude. And the more I practice it through the day, the better my day is, no matter the other circumstances that happen, right? I mean, and it's not perfect. There's times where I'm like, my brain goes, we should find something to be positive about this. And I'm like, hell's no to the no, not right this moment, because I want to sit in this yuck and this anger for a few minutes, because I want to justify why I have a right to be angry. And then that passes. And it passes much more quicker than it ever did in my life, because it's hard to hold on to that anger anymore. But I'm far from perfect, and I share this all with you because I really hope that people will understand and learn, like, there truly is recovery from mental illness. There truly is recovery from addiction. There's recovery from trauma. It requires work. It requires learning. But for those of us that have gone through any of those things or experienced that, you're already so much stronger than you have any idea. Because oftentimes, and my counselor used to say this to me for years before I actually felt it, and sometimes there's times where I'm like, I don't feel that this is true either, but you've already made it through the toughest part, which was the experience. So there's hope, and recovery is good, and life can be good, even with its ups and downs and its challenges. It can be good, and you can make it good relatively, I don't want to say easily, but it's free. It costs nothing. It's a change in mindset, which, yes, takes practice, but you can do it. So if you're wondering, like, what the heck can I do? How can I start? Start finding some time during your day to practice something, practice gratitude. Maybe it's when you have a shower. Maybe you want to spend, the few minutes you spend washing your hair, trying to list a couple things you're grateful for, right? The hot water as you're running in the shower. Oh, because being mindful and present is like the other greatest gift that has happened to me, probably more recently in the last few years. Because when I'm present, I'm like in the moment, and I'm less in the anxiety. It's harder to be in anxiety and worrying about what may happen later if I go to the grocery store and get in my car. It's harder for me to go there while I'm in the shower if I'm actually feeling myself massage the shampoo into my hair, or smelling the shampoo. Being mindful does not mean meditating. And I worked in mental health for years, and I really thought that's what mindful was about. You know, because most of the mindful workshops we had was like, close your mind, relax, breathe, you know, walk in a meadow, put your worries on a leaf and send it down the river. No, Pam doesn't do stuff like that, because as soon as you tell me to close my eyes and clear my mind, I'm like, okay, what do I need to pick up at the grocery store this weekend? And then, oh, one of the boys have soccer tonight. And, like, I couldn't do that. And a very wonderful psychiatrist that I worked with explained to me that mindfulness was just being present in the moment. So you can be present when you're brushing your teeth. You can feel the different temperature. Like, ask yourself, what is the temperature of the water? How does the water feel? Hearing the sound of the water running in the faucet, or the feel of the bristles on your teeth, or the taste of the toothpaste. She said, use your senses and be in the moment. Be aware of each sensation and each smell and each sensory. Lost my train of thought. But be present in the moment. Feel with your senses. Experience the moment through your senses. And that's what being mindful is all about. It's about being present. And it's such an amazing thing when you can practice it. And again, the key to having it as a tool, like any of the other ones, is practicing it when you're not in an upset state. Because if you do it on a somewhat regular basis when you're not upset, when you are upset, it becomes something like a skill that you use without even thinking. Because let's be honest, for those of you that, experience anxiety, you know when that's happening, you're not thinking. There's no rational thought process or whatever. I mean, years ago, I used to have to keep a list of my top 5 things to do when a panic attack started to come, and I had to keep these lists in different places in my house because you can't think and you freeze. And literally there was this window of opportunity for me to be able to do something to try to help myself before I would go full-fledged into the anxiety attack. And that's when I couldn't remember somebody's phone number that I knew off heart, or I couldn't even think, what do I do, right? You freeze. So having these lists at different places accessible to me throughout the day, I was able to learn to train myself to reach for the list, because now I have 5 options of tools that help me. This is how I learned things, right? Again, I went a little bit off on a tangent, but I thought it was a very valid point. So all these tools that I tried to share today with you are just to encourage you to start investigating your own, start looking into how you can maybe be mindful while you're brushing your teeth today. I pick something I do every day, right? And brushing my teeth I do every morning. And it's easy for me in the morning to do a goal, because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get this done. And the sooner I can do it before something else can interfere and shift my mood, the better. So that's how I started to learn to practice mindfulness and practice using my tools when I was not in a state of needing them, basically. So again, I just want to encourage you all. I just want to share some hope with you that recovery is good, it's possible, it's great, that anyone can learn skills to help improve their life and manage life. And I'm sorry, whether you suffer with mental illness or not, we all have anxiety, we all have stress, we all have depression, we all have, sad days, dark moments. We all have that. We have it on different varying levels, right? So we could all use tools and skills, excuse me, to help us learn to manage our lives a little bit better and a little bit more happier. Because that whole saying, you're in control of your own happiness, it's actually kind of true. Or at least it has been for me. Once I started having better thoughts and doing some of these things, my life started to become so much better, like night and day. And I want that all for you. I just do. Anyways, take care.